Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United and Chelsea failed to score in their game today as both teams walk away with a draw and definitely one of the most boring games to have under their belt. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a Manchester United versus Chelsea 0-0 match reaction. The game has just finished. It was very, very boring. Not much creativity from either team, and in the end, both teams walked away with a rightfully deserved draw, which kind of sucks. But again, we'll talk about Chelsea more and Manchester United more. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. I'm trying to get 250 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you guys would like to help out with that, please feel free to subscribe. But again, let's talk about Manchester United versus Chelsea. This game, so much hype came into this game. So much attacking prowess came into this game. You look at Manchester United's lineup. You looked at Chelsea's lineup. And you thought that there could be goals coming in left and right, especially with the rain. Defenders are prone to making mistakes in the rain. However, this game just did not seem to have any creativity whatsoever from either team. And it really hurt. It really did hurt. There's really not much to say about our performances, to be honest. There was no real standout in this game for either team. In the first half, Manchester United and Chelsea looked pretty much on the same wavelength, a few shots here and there. I think we had the better opportunities over Chelsea. We had a few good saves from their goalkeeper, Mendy. And in the second half, we did look more likely. But at the end of the day, we didn't show enough to say that we deserved to walk out of there with a victory. And we probably needed to walk out of there with the victory. We now are still in the bottom half of the Premier League. Chelsea go to 6th in the Premier League, which is obviously the point is probably better for them than it is for us. And now we have to go and face Arsenal next week in the Premier League to see if we can get a win there. And I think a win needs to come sooner or later in this Premier League season so we can fight back and fight up with some of the better teams in the Premier League. I mean, the draw is not the worst result in the world. I think I would have come into this, I predicted a draw. I would have come into this expecting a draw, and that's what we got. So I'm not going to sit here and complain that a draw is not good enough because I thought we would draw this game. But again, a win needs to come sooner or later. And it would have been nice to beat Chelsea today, but it didn't happen. And now we go to Arsenal and we have to verse them and see if we can get a win over there. Or I believe it's at Old Trafford. See if we can get a win. And hopefully we can, because we're going to need that victory sooner or later. We cannot afford a loss at the moment because we're already so far down. We're still playing catch up with a bunch of teams. We do have a game in hand, but still we need to do more in terms of the Premier League. Anyway, I'm not going to waste a lot of people's time in this video because there's just not that much to talk about. I will go into the player ratings. I do want to talk about the penalty, of course, when I get to Harry Maguire or the non-penalty. I want to talk about that. But again, there's not really much to say about this game. It was lackluster. It was boring. It lacked creativity. There was a few good chances for Manchester United. Cavani looks like he's going to do well here. But besides that, it's just not. It didn't work out today. Let's go into the player ratings. David De Gea, straightforward 6 out of 10. There's not much to say. Made one save, I believe. Chelsea didn't really have that much threat on goal. They had good opportunities to play through balls in, and if one of them connected, we could have been sitting here saying that we took a loss. But unfortunately for them, and fortunately for Manchester United, none of those seemed to work into their favour. We ended up getting a clean sheet, our first clean sheet of the Premier League season, which is a big positive. And it was against Chelsea, who's a good attacking side. And I don't think Chelsea showed up in their attacking styles today. They didn't, because they're a much better attacking team than what we saw today. And maybe that's Manchester United's defence, or maybe it is Chelsea just not showing up to the game today. I'm not really sure. But in the end, 6 out of 10 for De Gea. Didn't have much to do, and that's all I can really say on the matter. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give Aaron Wan-Bissaka a 6 out of 10. I might give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7, actually, because I thought Wan-Bissaka defensively was pretty good. Again, this is Chelsea that we're talking about. He did keep his opponents quiet on that side. No one really targeted him. They all really went after Luke Shaw. And I think that was rightfully deserved because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a fantastic tackling presence. He did everything that was needed to do. I think there was a time where Wan-Bissaka made a very good tackle to save a potential shot from Chelsea's players. And yeah, I thought he did all right, but again, so many people just did okay that it's kind of hard for me to separate these guys. But I will try my best to do so in the way that I saw fit. And I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a decent game, a slightly above average game, so he's going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. Same with Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof is going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought Victor Lindelof was very steady today. I thought he played well. Again, when it was a situation where we're not going to be beaten aerially by Chelsea, I think Victor Lindelof had a good game because he can read the ball. He can read the ball on the floor much better than he can read it in the air. And I think it really stood out to his positives in this game. And I think, in my opinion, Victor Lindelof might just be my man of the match. So I am going to say that now. I think Victor Lindelof is my man of the match. And he got a 7 out of 10. Basically, close to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but just at the moment, there's not much that I can say with a standout proper performance, but I think Victor Lindelof did very well in his performance today. Good interceptions, passed very well. He read the ball. He made some vital interceptions, and yeah. Harry Maguire, in my opinion, gets a 6, but in my opinion, let's just talk about this. The fact that that penalty against Azpilicueta was not given is a disgrace to football. I mean, we have VAR here for a reason. And I'm happy, don't get me wrong, I'm happy it's not a penalty because at the end of the day, I don't want to lose the game. But I cannot sit here and say that that is an okay challenge from Harry Maguire. That is a disgraceful challenge. You should under no circumstance be putting someone in a headlock to win. You blocked his jump. It is a penalty. And VAR didn't even look at that. And that's a problem. That is a problem. I mean, we all want VAR to be fair in its decision making. And yes, Manchester United got lucky today in terms of that call. But the fact that that was not looked at and that was not reviewed is one of the worst things you could ever ask for if just as a neutral fan. So as a neutral fan, that is definitely a penalty. And that could even be a yellow card. Probably is a yellow card. So that's unacceptable defending from Harry Maguire. But other than that, I think Harry Maguire had a very good game as well. The partnership of Lindelof and Harry Maguire worked today, which surprised me because of the attack that the Chelsea had. Very quick, fast attacking players. And I'm surprised that partnership worked out today, but it did. And you have to give credit for that. But that should have been a penalty. We should have gone 1-0 down after that horrendous tackle, horrendous challenge in the corner. I don't like that. I'm not going to lie. I don't like having our players be at fault for something like that. It's not good. I expect our players to do better than that. But in the end, we did get away with it. It wasn't a penalty. Can't believe Rashford's penalty was reviewed and that one wasn't. So at the end of the day, we just have to count our blessings with that one. We walked away with a draw when we probably shouldn't have with that. Or we had chances to win the game as well, don't get me wrong, but that penalty should have been given. Left back Luke Shaw. I'm going to be a little bit harsh here on Luke Shaw, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm giving Luke Shaw a 5 out of 10 because I think defensively Luke Shaw was fine. But Alex Telles should have played. And the reason why Alex Telles should have played is because we needed someone to whip up crossing, to perform from corners, to give us a little bit of a threat attacking-wise. And Luke Shaw was good defensively, but today, offensively, was one of his worst performances in the Premier League and in the league so far. Offensively, Luke Shaw was not good today. So I am going to give him a 5. He got done a few times by Reece James, but that doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, he's basically being double-teamed on that side. But in my opinion, Luke Shaw did not have that good of a game today. And you have to take it on the chin. Luke Shaw was not good. He was not good today. Offensive-wise, you at least expect him to make the runs. And there was only very few times I saw Luke Shaw in an attacking position. And maybe that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's planning to make sure that he doesn't get counter-attacked. Or maybe it's Luke Shaw being hesitant. I think Alex Telles should have played today. I'm still, till this moment, questioning why Alex Telles was not even on the bench. So if someone could please tell me why Alex Telles wasn't on the bench, let alone not even playing in this game, please let me know. Because I have no clue, no idea, and it still makes me frustrated to even be thinking about it. Because I think it could have been a real game changer. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think Luke Shaw had that great of a game, so I'm going to come out and say I don't think Luke Shaw had that great of a game, and we'll see what happens next week in the Champions League against Arsenal. If he can improve his performances, great. But if not, then we need to question ourselves as to who should be starting at left-back position, because I don't think Luke Shaw's first-team place is safe. at the moment, especially if you're going to do that performance, because I think Alex Tellers could have done a better job. My opinion, I'm going to take it as that, and we'll see how we go. In the CDM positions, let's start off with Fred. Fred had one of his worst games today. A lot of turnovers, a lot of unnecessary passes. His first touch was pretty poor, and I'm going to give Fred a... Look, he wasn't bad. I'm going to give him a 6, but... Yeah, there was problems with Fred today. He wasn't the standout player. He wasn't that dominating fashion. He wasn't the defender, the CDM. He ran a lot. He was very hardworking. I think that was necessary in this game because Chelsea could have dominated the midfield if we played anybody else. But unfortunately, Fred did a lot of unnecessary things today that brought down his performance. And yeah, I think a 6 out of 10 is fair. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay is an interesting one because I think in the first couple minutes, like the first 10, 20 minutes, Scott McTominay was pretty good. He looked to be a very good player. He made a few unnecessary passes, few very, very, very stupid passes, and sometimes even questionable passes, like why the hell did he even do that? But yeah, I'm going to give Scott McTominay probably a 5 because I think Fred was better. Again, I do think Fred was better. But with Scott McTominay, some of the passes today were outrageously bad, and there was a play in the first couple minutes where he just kept passing the ball to Chelsea. I couldn't believe it. I think he was trying to find Mata, but every single time it deflected, and he kept trying to do it. And with Scott McTominay, defensively, or at least effort-wise, I can always count on Scott McTominay when it comes to effort. And that's what we needed in this game. So in that retrospect, I don't think he had that bad of a game. But I think when it comes to him being on the ball and making those passes, there was a big issue there. And that's something that we need to fix for the next few games. I'm assuming he's going to play a very similar lineup against Arsenal. So he's going to have to fix that for that game. Because Arsenal is going to be a team that's going to counterattack us. We need to make sure our passing is efficient. Let's go on to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, especially in the second half, towards the early part of the second half and the late part of the first half, I didn't notice Bruno Fernandes at all. We did not bring Bruno Fernandes into the game. We didn't really give him that much of the ball for him to create. And it showed in the scoreline, 0-0. Bruno Fernandes did not create that much. I'm not going to give him a 5 out of 10 because at the end of the day, if he's to perform badly, he needs the ball. And he didn't get the ball. So I'm going to give him a 6. But it's something to keep your eyes on with Bruno Fernandes. Was one of his more lackluster games as a Manchester United player today. And you wanted to see Bruno Fernandes create something. Unfortunately, it just wasn't to be. And we move on. It's just one of those games, man. It's one of those games where no one really stepped up to the plate. And we ended up losing points from that, dropping points. Dropping 2 points is big, especially in a game against Chelsea. But anyway, we move on again. Going into the attackers. Dan James, 4 out of 10. Could be a 3 out of 10. Dan James was, again, he was doing the things I was asking him to do. But man, oh man, the amount of times he either slipped or basically ran so far into the defender that he basically tried to run into the defender, like literally through him. Yeah, there's a point where, yeah, you need to make something happen, but forcing it the way that Dan James did today was just unnecessary sometimes. I'm not saying make a pass backwards. I'm saying the decision-making needs to be better. It just does. But at the end of the day, Daniel James is one of the worst players on the pitch today, and it showed, and he got subbed off pretty early from that, and it is what it is. You cannot hide from this. You cannot say that Dan James had a good performance because he didn't. He did not. And it sucks. I wish it was not the case. I like Dan James. I think he has potential here. But when there's a bad game there, you need to talk about it. And Dan James had a bad game. Juan Mata on the right wing, I'm going to give an average 6 out of 10. Had a very good shot in the first half. Mendy was probably their man of the match. So he made a very good save there. I really think if that was Kepa in goal, we would have won 2-0. So, yeah, well done to Mendy and well done to Mata for having a good performance against the big teams. And that could be an indicator of what we go for in the future with Mata and Bruno. That partnership seems to be there. And when Mata got taken off, you didn't see much of Bruno, but also you saw that we turned the ball over quite a few times when Mata wasn't on the ball. I don't think Mata was the right person to take off. I'm not going to lie. I know he can't play a full 90 minutes, but when Mata came off, I really felt like the dynamic of the game really changed to a more slow, it's going to be a draw type of game. And maybe that's just me. I'm giving Juan Mata a 6, and I'm giving Marcus Rashford a 5 out of 10 because he had a very good shot at the end of the game, but unfortunately he did not do anything else besides that. Very, very lackluster. Turned the ball over quite a few times. Got caught in possession on our defense. Every shot got deflected or hit. One good shot. I'm giving him a 5 because if he scores, I'm giving him a 7. But if he doesn't score, his performance wasn't that great today either. That's the team. Moving on into the bench. Paul Pogba came on. Paul Pogba did nothing, 6 out of 10. Cavani came on, nearly scored with his first touch. Had a good few opportunities. And I think we're going to see a very good Cavani against some lower side oppositions. I don't think Chelsea was an indicator that he's going to be a fantastic player. But the movement's there. And he had great movement. And again, Chelsea's defenders, especially Thiago Silva today, was good. So it just wasn't meant to be for Cavani. But I do think we will see him score sooner than later. And hopefully we can see that against Arsenal. Hopefully. Only time's going to tell. And who else came on? I'm struggling to see who else came on. Mason Greenwood, that's the one. 6 out of 10. Didn't have that much time. Yeah, so that's it. That's the player ratings. We should have conceded a penalty. We had more opportunities than them. Mendy was good in goal. We could have won 2-0 if that was any other goalkeeper. Yeah, that's just the way that it is. It happens sometimes. I'm not going to come out here and cry and moan because at the end of the day, I would have taken a draw coming into this, and we took a draw coming out of it. Also, I don't think we were that bad, but I do think that this lineup lacks creativity sometimes. And I understand that we won 2-1 against PSG with a very similar lineup. But I really thought this was a very defensive display from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think with Frank Lampard playing defensively as well, we had a chance there to take something here. They played 3 at the back. First time they've done it all season. We could have done something here. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. We walk away with the draw at Old Trafford. Yet not another win for Manchester United at their home ground. It's becoming concerning now. But again, we take the draw and we move on. It's not the worst result. We still gain some points. I believe that Man City dropped some points as well. So we're not really losing anything in this. I mean, if Liverpool wins, they'll go 2 points ahead of us again. Tottenham and Arsenal are below Chelsea. So look, the Premier League's definitely not gone after this result. I'm not going to even go into the fact saying even if we lost, the Premier League's not gone. But I think a victory against Everton or Arsenal is a must. One of them needs to be a victory. And if we end up getting a draw from both games, then it's concerning because we need to win in the Premier League and we need to win at home. And I don't want to see against Arsenal us drawing or losing. So I think Arsenal, it becomes a much more important game now because of this performance against Chelsea. And let's see how things go with that team, with Arsenal. Arsenal have been a very good defensive side as of late. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can make something happen against them, against the Gunners. And we also have a Champions League game ahead of us as well against Leipzig. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Again, I'm trying to get to 250 subscribers by the end of the month. If you guys would like to help me out from that, please give me a subscribe. And let me know if you enjoyed the video or not. I will see you in the Manchester United, I believe, versus Leipzig match predictions. The Champions League is back. Hopefully we can get some momentum there because we're going to need something because this game really sucked the life out of our momentum. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another Manchester United video. Take care and peace.